Good morning, everyone. In this video, I'm going to cover gold miners, and we're going to cover some silver miners. I'm seeing some things this morning that I want to point out. So we're going to look at the gold mining stocks, go through a bunch of those charts, try to figure out what's going on and where the next trade is. So if you guys find value in this content, leave me a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. It helps the channel grow. You know, we grow slowly, but it does grow. So thank you for all that interaction that you give me. Okay. Start out here with gold bullion. Here's GOLD gold. And basically we're seeing, pretty strong buying today. We're up about 20 bucks. We're coming into short-term resistance right here at 1833. If you look at the hourly chart, that is basically that right up back here. We're stopped twice right in there. Actually 3 times. There's the third tag right there. So that's resistance, and we're ramping right into that. So we need to break through that as the next kind of breakout in gold bullion. Otherwise, we're just still kind of stuck within this range right here. Now, again, I do think we are going to get that breakout. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but I do believe we are. We have started the next leg higher in gold in an ongoing bull market. And one of the reasons why I'm looking for that breakout, we had a false breakdown right here these last few weeks of a bear trap. And that was basically built off of this trend line right here in green. Let me clean this up. This trend line right there in green. This is your bull market trend line in gold. We ramped all the way up here. If you remember back when I've been bullish gold and gold miners for a while, but when we were in this period right here, this is where I was pulling my gold miners off and selling them all. I sold out of all those gold miners that I owned. I talked about it on the channel. And then we let this thing correct, and I wasn't really interested in getting long gold again until right back in here. I have it kind of circled. This is where I started to rebuild a position in gold miners, and I've been adding to them at key levels of support ever since. And you can see here this false breakdown of that trend line, and then we recovered it, and we've been ramping higher ever since. So I think we're going to continue to move higher. Likely we'll get a pullback right here, but I think we're working our way higher in a new leg higher of the bull market. Moving on to the gold miners GDX, these look a little different. So you can see here on the miners, you had this big downtrend coming off the August 2020 highs, big long correction. We broke out. There's your breakout of that downtrend, and what looks like we've started a new trend. But sometimes when you break out, you back test the former trend line. And that's what we did. So there's a backtest of support. That was an objective area to add. And then we backtested again right there, which also slightly undercut, if I get rid of these little circles that I have, slightly undercut that key level of support at 3130. You can see right here we undercut it just a couple days and then recovered it. That's bullish. When you break below a key support level and then recover it, that's a bear trap or a stop raid. The algos dip things below key levels, run a bunch of stops, and then bid them back up. So that's a key level right there at that 3130. And if you just go back and look at the daily, I have that marked out. That is key level of resistance for many years, and ever since it broke above, it's been key levels of support. All right, so there's the latest test of that key level, and it's held since. Today on the GDX, you can see we had this range right here, and we're starting to kind of break above it. We're basically impulsively breaking above it. So that's taking out just about the last month's worth of consolidation, and we're starting to break higher. So very bullish in terms of price action today. Again, we looked for this, and the reason why I was looking for the price action to start to move higher was the bullish divergence on the RSI and the PPO. So again, you'll see here that the momentum started moving higher. All through here, we were moving higher. Bullish divergence, momentum moving up, while price continued to make new lower lows. This down here, this was an indication that we were likely going to reverse trend as we continued to make new lower lows in price. I was looking for that reversal, and we're starting to see it now with price moving higher. So still a little more work to do, but positive price action confirming the bullish divergences today. Okay, some individual miners. We'll just run through some of these, and then we'll look at some silver and silver charts. So here's BTG. This is B2 Gold Corp. Bullish falling wedge right here. that we've been putting in for a while, this bullish falling wedge has also come with bullish divergence. So you see right there how the momentum has been moving up on the RSI, and we also have that there on the PPO, bullish divergence. Let me mark that out. And that indicates that momentum, as we continue to make lower lows in price, the momentum was starting to move up. It showed that we're about to turn in price. Momentum or price often follows momentum, so we want to look for the momentum first, and then we'll look for price. So there's your bullish falling wedge, and you have a breakout or a buy signal today. So there's a nice impulsive breakout. This is what you want to see on a breakout above a key support or resistance level. You want to see really impulsive price action, and that is it right there. You can see just big, nice green candle breaking out, moving higher. So that's a buy signal. That really sets us up for starting the uptrend in this one. So as far as I can tell, we've got some resistance right here at 436. We've got another level of resistance at 489. And then we've got another level all the way up here at 604. So there's some key levels to kind of watch. We'll likely get some reactions as we ramp into those resistance levels, maybe pull back and then break higher, something like that. So those are things to watch for, but bullish price action, prices look like they're going higher on this one. Agnico Eagle, AEM. You can see today, pretty bullish candle where we're breaking out above this most recent consolidation area. So again, we're just starting to create what looks to be the uptrend. We've had bullish divergence in this one right here for a while. It's been building on the RSI and the PPO. So each tags of this trend line support, I have it marked out in red. That really comes off the highs right there, and it was resistance before. We finally broke above there, and we've just been riding along that support zone for months, really. We've been just riding along that support zone. We're starting to lift off that support zone now. You can see, as the buyers are stepping in so far this morning. So again, that was the upward price movement has been forecasted in the momentum, and now we just want to see continuation of upward price. So that looks bullish to me. Here's Anglo Gold, Ashanti. This one, as far as I can tell, looks like it wants to come fill this gap right here. We have a gap right there at 1919. So it looks like it's going to run up and fill this gap and possibly move higher, but at a minimum fill the gap. So this one's been in somewhat of a downward price channel, kind of a bullish falling wedge. It's gotten a little sloppy, the chart has. But I've marked out this support right there at about 1595. And they had some bad earnings. Something came out on earnings and they gapped it down. But now it's kind of recovering, and it looks like it wants to start to run up and fill that gap. So we'll watch that. This chart's I'm not as big of a fan of this one. The chart's not as bullish looking as some of these other miners. But in general, if the miners are going to rally, this one should rally as well. So things to watch for. I don't have the bullish divergence that you'd want to see. So again, not as clean of a chart. Not my favorite. Here's HMY. So HMY hasn't quite taken off yet. Okay, sorry, I had to take a quick phone call. HMY. So this one, basically, you've got an uptrend. This is coming off of the 2015 time frame. And you've got this clean uptrend line right there. We have a reaction here, reaction here. There's your COVID drop. We undercut it slightly, but again, that was kind of forced selling. So snap back on that one. This one hasn't quite popped, so maybe this one wants to go down a little lower. I'm not seeing any signs right now that that the price is moving higher or will move higher, but I think it's gonna happen soon because you've got bullish divergence on the charts, on the momentum, and we're just kind of treading water basically right now, just kind of hanging out in this consolidation zone. So maybe it wants to run down and tag this trend line support. That's possible. That would be a buying opportunity. That's a ways down there though. That's another 8 or so % down there. So I'm not so sure. We'll see. Or the buyers might step in here and now, and this might be all we're going to see for the lows. Again, GDX looks bullish, and some of these other miners are starting to look bullish. So looking for bullish price action across a lot of these. IAG, this one, again, nothing really too not a big change today. We're rallying, up about 5%, but again, we're still kind of stuck in this sideways range. The major point on this one is we have a downtrend line right here, We've been walking down that downtrend line, and we have probably created a bullish falling wedge. We can kind of look at it. You know, it could be something like that, where we have a reaction high, a reaction, and then a reaction here. And then we had another one right there. So that could be the bullish falling wedge, and we're breaking out. We could look at it that way. The other thing to notice is, you know, you have bullish divergence here on the RSI, and then let's look at the PPO. Let's kind of zoom in there and see what that looks like. Don't quite have it there on the PPO, so not quite bullish divergence on both momentum indicators. So mixed signals, we'll see. You know, I'd like to see a more impulsive breakout than where we're at right now and see how we close the day on that one. Newmont Mining. So this is the largest gold mining company, but you can see here we have a trend line coming off the August time frame. This one actually rallied up and made a new high here in May, and then it sold down and has been back testing that trend line support ever since. We did have a couple drops below, and that, you know, but we've recovered that, and so that's basically stop rate running action. The algos dip it below, run a bunch of stops, take those positions from those stop orders, and then they rally it higher. So that's what that looks like as of right now. This one also had bullish divergence. So when you have bullish divergence and you see price action like that, usually it puts the probability that higher that it's going to be a stop rate. So that's what that looks like. So bullish momentum, and we've been kind of drifting lower. But today, you know, nice break higher. You know, we need to see some more bullish price action. We probably have a little bit of a downtrend line, maybe something like that. I can't really draw it super clean, so I don't have it marked out. But price action looks good for today. Again, I go back to that GDX and just looking at that price action. That looks very bullish. Seeing that breakout here above this most recent consolidation range sets us up to move for a move higher. So I see that a move up to 34.35 as the next level of resistance. Silver is doing even better today. So here's SLV. And the way that I played silver, I actually bought some silver miner a couple days ago. PAAS, I'll look at that one. But here's SLV. And this one, you had a level of support right there at about 2205. You can see we had several reactions right through here, reaction right there. And then they gapped it below, and it's been trading underneath ever since, but we recovered it right here a couple days ago. Big impulsive buying, and then it's been holding that support level. And today, moving higher. So as far as I can tell, we're now working our way back into what looks like this big range right here. And that sets us up for a move up to this next level of 2520, I see as the next level of resistance. So that one looks good. PAAS was the Pan American Silver. This one had a nice, this one just looked really good to me. So here, there's the key level I was looking at, and it's 2601. You can see that was resistance back here. It probably even goes back further, but basically we broke out right here, and we held support right in this range on that level. A couple dips below, but for the most part, we held that level. And then you can see recently as I zoom in, we held it there. And then finally they broke it below, and we were trading below that level. So what I was looking for was, basically I was anticipating a breakout or recovery. Now, I didn't wait for the buy signal on this. I did jump the gun because I was trying to front run. It really looked like these were going to break out, so I wanted to get ahead of it. And I started buying it the last couple of days, looking for a break back above that 2607 level. And then also we had this downtrend line on PAS that was in place. So I was looking for a gap up, and a break above. Basically, this is the move I was looking for. The reason why I was able to anticipate it, and it was a higher risk trade, but the probability was in my favor because I had bullish divergence that was building on the PPO and slight bullish divergence there on the RSI. So bullish divergence on that, they looked bullish, and I was just looking for. Okay, so the point that I was trying to make, even if you didn't, take this, obviously I didn't point this out on the channel, it is a breakout today. So that's a buy signal just today. So there it is right there. That sets us up for a move. You know, I mean, I can see us moving all the way back up to the highs as we work our way higher. Again, gold looks like it's starting the next leg higher in its longer term bull market, and so silver should follow. Here's First Majestic AG. This one basically you have a little bit of a downtrend line right here. You can see we just marked that out. We've started to break higher, but the bigger picture is if you go back and look at some of the horizontal support levels, we've got, this was kind of a key level of resistance right in here. We broke above it once, it failed, so that was a bull trap, failed, came back down, and then we basically have been above it ever since. And so you can see we held support right here, dipped below it a little bit, but we've since recovered that. And today, the key level, if I draw, let me grab the right tool. If I draw this out right here, that was key resistance, and today we're gapping up and running higher. So that's a breakout as well. So that sets us up for a move up to the next level of resistance, which looks to be right about there at 1451. So we'll see where we get today, see how that closes. But in general, that's bullish. Also, if you look at the divergences, there it is. See the bullish divergence? So that was showing up before, meaning that we were moving higher in momentum, and yet price was continuing to make a new low. That's bullish divergence, indicating we're likely going to see a trend reversal soon. And then, you know, you probably mark this one out right here. Look for the breakout above trendline resistance, which we did, and there's your breakout candle. So this looks like it's moving higher as well. Okay, we'll wrap up with the dollar, and then we'll call it good. Again, if you guys are interested in learning this skill set, you know, and learning how to use technical analysis to your advantage, doesn't always give you guarantees, and it will never give you a guarantee, but can help put the probability in your favor. Take my course, stock trading course, and technical analysis course. Link in the description below. All right, the dollar here, you can see here that the dollar has been falling. Obviously, we hit resistance right there at 93. It's about 93.25. We've been falling. We've got some support. We could have some near-term support right about there. You can see that we're they dipped it below, but so far it's holding up. So we'll watch that. I'd like to see that impulsively break for the next move lower. There was negative divergence on the dollar, so you'll see here how we are dropping off on the momentum right here, which means that this new high, this high right here, that was a divergent high with a higher probability of failing, and it obviously did. So that was a false breakout and a divergent high that has failed. I think it's likely if we can break below this level of about 91, 98, we've got a little bit of support right here at 91.50, and below that we head straight down to 89, you know, about the 89.30, 89 level. So those are the key levels to watch. The divergences indicate that we're likely going to do that and work our way lower, but we got to see some of these levels go. That's all I have today. So that's the gold miners. If anything crazy happens on the general market, I'll put out another video later today. Catch you later.